Welcome back to Just Enough Garage. Today, we get sunshine and a little bit more on our Jeep project with a box of Amazon parts. Let's check it out. Alright, welcome back. So, last week we changed the front springs. Bazing, bazoom, got it going on. I like the look. It brought it up a little bit. It's still serviceable. It looks good. This week, we got to do something with this. I got to do something with this. So I have plans. Let me explain. In the beginning, stick with me. In the beginning, we had a box of Amazon stuff, $56 worth. What is it? What's inside? Can you guys see that? It's these lowering blocks. Came with new U-bolts. Okay? So when I took those springs out, 67, 68 Camaro. Apparently they must have been for a 6-cylinder engine because they weren't cut. I thought they would be. They weren't. This is some crap I had over my wall. I thought about doing a homemade lowering block. I saw how affordable the Chinese made stuff was, so we're going to try it. What's that include? Well, I talked a little bit about it. I think I need to lower the overall, lower that down. That'll give me a little bit of wheel tuck. Oh, you say, Darian, you're going to hit this. You're right. Remember we had these fenders? I'm going to essentially take those, insert them in, which means somewhere up here I'll have a cut that'll follow that, and down it'll go. And there's no problem all the way up to the bottom of that box. So I have lots of wheel room. I also have lots of wheel. That's the issue. Now, on a side note, that's what I'm doing today. And then I'll put the brake drums on and kind of get it orientated. Then I'm ready. Once I got my ride height, then I'm ready for this drive line. 3 inches seems like the right amount of drop for what I'm looking for. If that doesn't work out, then we're back to the front goofing around. I could shorten those just a little bit more if I wanted to. Now you guys recall, this is story time with Darian. You guys recall right there was all beat in on that front control arm. And you know how I said sometimes, Mariana calls it manifesting. I need something, but I don't know I need it, and it shows up. Well, let me put on the video delay and walk around to the back of my truck and show you what I got. All right, what do I got? I got a 19, this is the front clip, you can see, Camaro. I know it's a Camaro because it came out from under a 1968 Camaro that a fellow was restoring. He didn't want this, he didn't need it, he's upgraded all that. It's the same. Drum brakes, it has really nice, it had a V8 car, so I've got a V8 spring right here. It came with some motor mounts, which, whatever. It's got a new, that's a different steering box, a master cylinder, drag length, tie rod ends, and then of course the full length arms. It was a takeoff, they removed it. This is in better shape than yeah, you can just see how nice these are. Okay, so the point is why am I telling you this? I didn't know I needed that till I saw it on Marketplace. There was a 10-bolt axle that went with it. It was a match set. I have a 10-bolt axle. I thought, man, I really ought to call this guy. Well, you know how it goes. You're at work, things happen. The time I got around to putting in an inquiry, he'd sold the rear axle. Didn't need it. Okay. I don't know that I need these parts, but I got them now. You say, well, what'd you pay for that, Darian? Front clip from a Camaro, 57 years old. What'd you pay for that? Hey, it was sandblasted. It's clean. We were standing in the rain. It was 3 miles from my house. I don't know the man, but he was working on restoring stuff. And he wanted $200, and I said, hey, how about I give you 100, we get out of the rain? And he says, how about 150, we still do the same thing? I said, oh, okay. He had a forklift. He just put it right. And of course it doesn't fit, right? So then I just did the old Darian get it home 3 mile move, and after Johnny wakes up from his nap, the two of us will remove the straps, basically let it fall on the ground, and then drag it into the backyard. Okay, let's install those. This is the tool I'm going to use, and this is probably the socket I'm going to use. As you see, I got the tires off, jacked up, blah blah. You've seen all that before. Let's move on with life. The axle, I don't know, a video or two back, I got it set. Just so you know, up inside here I got loads of room. Literally, can you see? Oh yeah, okay. My hand here, I got all the way up to there to clearance this. Now, I hear your gears turning. I hear you saying, Darian, why would you want to lower it if you're going to put weight in it? Well, I'm not going to want it to go all the way down to its ride height, but this is absolutely empty. We've cleaned all the junk out of it. I want it to be down till it looks good, and then lower it down with a few tools in there, which I'm going to probably guess 500 or 600 pounds worth of junk, and so that it rides nice. And by cutting the fender, I don't know if I'll be able to fix any of this aluminum. It's got problems. I am putting junk together to make junk. And I always say, well, what makes everything I own junk? I start out with junk. The secret to keeping junk is to have junk you're taking apart all the time. So let's blast this side. Essentially undo everything we've done in the hopes of putting the blocks. Now, again, some of you might be thinking, Darian, what if the 3 inches are too low? Because that's going to rise this axle up. Well, I got the 3-inch ones because if I don't like them, I could take them into a saw, or I can grind them, or I can use my cut-off wheel, and I can get them to 2 inches or 1 inch, right? I might not even use them, but for 56 bucks, I tried it. Let's see what happens. Gotta get out of neutral, Darian. Get it in the gear. There we go. Now, will this flex enough? Oh yeah. Okay. I might have to use the jack, but I should be able to flex that enough to get my deal. And let me get my deal. It's over on the table. All right, so you guys see how this works. Well, can't do too many things. Good thing I have a jack. Utilize the tools, Darian. Don't be a barbarian every time. 3 inches looked good on tape measure, but now that I'm under here, I'm like, that seems an awful lot. Who would have ever thought that 3 inches would be too much? What? No more lift. Anyways, these have a pin. There's a hole. That index is in. And then this sets down on top of that hole. Otherwise, I could just, if I think 3 inches is too much, I just make my own custom line. Yeah, my jack don't go high enough. Time to get impressed. I need to put a tripping device in there that'll shoot out at me. I was watching a fellow this last week do his video and he smashed his finger. It's a real possibility, you know. Hopefully I didn't jinx myself by, let me go down a little more. Jinx myself by talking about getting hurt doing this. This should be as simple as putting a spacer in there. What do you mean you gotta drill it? What do you mean it's made in China? It don't fit. What are you talking about? And there's no way that something from overseas wouldn't work. You know what? They got half of it right. Okay, let me show you what's going on. This hole in the bottom, not quite large enough diameter to go over the nut right there. You see the nut? Oh yeah. So stand by. I'll probably show you what I do to fix it if you're interested, but it's drilling it out. Okay, I found a drill bit. Drilled it out just slightly. A couple of cat whiskers is all it needed. Hopefully I guessed right. I did not measure. I just thought, that's close enough. Where can I put you that's different but same? Oh yeah, I can put you right here on the leaf spring. That way you'll get a jar when it all collapses. Bear with me. Adjusting camera. Please stand by, do not adjust your set. Oh yeah, you guys get the crooked view. Okay, oop. Move that trash out of there. Oh, oh baby. Yeah, that cat whisker is all it needed. Yeah, all right, let's check it out. Off with you now, laddie. Okay, that's what it's doing. Okay, yeah, okay. Now, the real question is, it appears to have probably 6 inches between here, but I have no load on it. Now, to you astute, obvious observers saw that I have this unsecured. I might have to do something crazy with this. You know, these have got some helpers on them, so I'm going to be lowering at the same time I'm raising. Got to find the middle ground, people, the middle ground. Aren't we all trying to find the middle ground? You know, aren't we all trying to find that spot in life that makes everybody else happy? Oh, there was instructions. Let's read the instructions. Oh, glasses. Okay, here we go. Jack stands, raising jacks, raising axle, frame, jack stands, unbolt, put in there, put it back together. And, oh, after 25 miles of driving, check the U-bolts. Then after 100 miles of driving, check the U-bolts. And then after 1,000 miles of driving, check the U-bolts. Do you think you might need to check the U-bolts? Oh yeah, there's a lot of reading there. I don't have time for that. Ain't got no time for that. Okay. These used to be Honda Civics. Now they're going to become part of this. I'll put you back in that same locale so you can observe the genius at work. I've never done one of these before. You are learning to experience life with me. That's good enough, right? Squint your eyes. Come on, people. Subscribers, let's talk about subscribers while I'm subscribing you to this new Fang-Dangle U-bolt system. New people, thank you. Appreciate you. I'm not always doing things this way. And I do more than just this project. But I am stuck on this one until I am done with it. And please go back and watch the other videos. Why am I doing this one? There's a reason. I choose to, but there is a reason I'm doing this one. And it's not even for me. Man, that sure fits good. It's almost like it was made for it. Oh, one-handed. Can you open a zip bag? Yeah, if I use my other hand. I got a grandson. Yesterday he went to the toys in the living room. He poured out every single toy so that he could get the one he wanted. Do you think he put them back? No. But I understand why he did it. Oh, I hear the rain coming back. I lied when I said it was sunshine. Periods of sun. They're over. Well, I'll get these blocks in. Then we'll try to, I'm going to have to cut the body to get the tires on. So, you know, you take on these things, all of a sudden you're start to finish, right? I got a problem sometimes. I take on. Son of a gun, what was that? Oh, scared me. I thought I was dying. That door fell over. The wind came up and it was leaning on there. Anyways, sometimes I have a tendency, not so much now, from when I was younger, I'd overestimate my abilities or underestimate the time including, and then I would frustrate myself when it didn't go according to my imaginary made-up plan. So you guys are watching me do this. Well, sorry. I'm sorry it's boring. For you guys who, you get it, you know. Maybe Marianne will fast forward this part too. Alright, now that you got the bolts in, that went smooth as can be. What you want to do is just tighten it gently because I don't have the pinion angle set yet. And even if you did put this in, you'd have to change your pinion angle. Let's set that to 1 so that it can just do its magic here. You guys watched me do that? Seriously? Look, you watched me do that and you didn't say nothing. So much for feel. Oh, I could feel it with my fingers. No, you can't, Darian. You had to get down here and look. Ay, ay, ay. Man, does that get under a guy's skin. Here I was just cussing this thing out for being garbage, and I'm the guy doing it garbage. Ay, 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 ay. That's funny. I don't know if you guys see that. Let me get you close so you can see what I'm laughing about. I put this one in like this. Whoop. And I didn't realize it because I was reaching under. That's funny right there. About 10 minutes on the clock to do this so far, in case you're counting. Whether or not that edit translation's out. Well, of course it doesn't fit because you tighten these. Alright. I need to get a hammer. I need a whale on it. You ever do something and then just feel like that was a huge waste of your energy? Today I feel that way. It's so dang cold out here. We've been getting rain. We've been getting ice. One of these days those two are going to get together and we're going to have a storm, you know? Yeah. Alright. Did it go in? No. Go in your hole. I'm not saying this is how the threads get bungy, but it sure doesn't help when they just... Alright, did I do it? Yeah. Maybe I should have left it alone. You guys ever do that with your project? You make a change because you thought you could make it better and then it turned out you couldn't? And then it sets you back? Yeah. Welcome to the club. These are fitting nicer. So either I've put all the best stuff over here and now I got to really battle the other side, or it didn't really matter. Alright, here we go. All right, setting 1, got it. Now, if you want to check up top here, these U-bolts are straight up and down, because what happens otherwise is if they're spread it a little bit when you're driving down the highway. All right, this is good. See, that's the old one. I did move it over 3/4 of an inch, so there's some different wear patterns. All right, I'm not going to bore you with the next one. I'm going to go do the next one, give you an update, throw the wheels on it. We'll deal with the shocks later. I got options, probably including the original brackets coming off of here with a little bit of a stand down, so that thing can, and it's going to push back up. So that's a heavy shock. If I really get into a bind and I don't like any of this crap, I could put an airbag in here for weight, so that when I get it stationary, boop, I got it stationary. But I kind of think it's going to have kind of a fixed load when it's done. It's just going to carry the tools, look cool, and you know, impress people. Yeah, I know the brakes are no good. I went to Rock Auto. Look how thin that is, junk. Went to Rock Auto, and it's like $250 probably with shipping for all new hardware, wheels, cylinders, brakes. They did sell new drums. I haven't really looked at them that close. One thing at a time. I'm hoping this weekend to get this done so I can get the drive line on the ticket for getting made. And then I did work on the other day. I put the engine together. I didn't start it. You didn't miss nothing, but I put the radiator in, some wires, blah, blah, blah. I don't film everything. I got other stuff going on in my life you don't even know about, and I'm not telling you, but I'm getting another Subaru. Doesn't matter. It's just a kid car that I'm going to use for the kids, myself, whatever. And I don't know, I might show you. It runs and drives. It was a smoking deal. I just, you know, right place, right time. That's the way I view it anyways in life. Let me set up and I'll bring you back. Okay, I got the other side in. It actually took less time. Imagine that. Not messing with the camera took less time to do it. But it's been spitting snowflakes the last few minutes off and on. Now we're going to lower this down on those stands. Okay. Now the reason I lowered it down on the stands is so that we okay. So now we can take some measurements. What do I need to measure? I need to measure this tire. Hopefully you can see this on the film. I need to measure from the center of that to the upper edge. I could probably just do it like this. Put that eyeball, eagle eye, 16 inch, 15 and a half, but who's splitting hairs? And then I need to be able to go, okay, do I even have enough room? Center 20. Gives me 4 inches of meat, right? Now, because the tire is still wide, I need to be able to take this measurement out here. I'll go into the shop, get a square, and probably, I'm going to do this side first, because if I screw up this side, at least it's the driver's side. I have an interference problem here. I might have to take this and move it in there. There could be some patchwork. I could be literally destroying this thing trying to get the look I'm looking for. Or it could just turn out perfect. Hard to tell. It's exciting, isn't it?